I actually remember I think it was 2021, 2022 when the Emerald Cup first launched, because it was always the Irish Open, then it went to the Emerald.
The first Emerald Cup was in 2020.
2020. Oh, just
before COVID. Can I tell you a story?
Go for it.
Can I tell you a cool story? Not a cool story. So the first Emerald Cup was 2020. And we have this thing with the Emerald Cup. I'll tell you, this is kind of amusing. It's amusing for you. It's not amusing for me. But the Emerald Cup is the medal disaster event, because when we started in 2020 with the Emerald Cup, we ordered our usual set of medals, and they come from China, and they're manufactured there en masse. And then they usually take, depending on nowadays, they take X amount of weeks to come. So China have a holiday around that time. So the Chinese New Year is usually in February. So Chinese New Year is around January. So they're always very careful to tell us. Our suppliers are like, look, you need to make sure your order's in. And we were like, yeah, no problem. So around December, we put this order in, and they're like, yeah, we're not sure we're going to be able to do that. And we're like, okay. And I was like, okay, yeah, we'll see, because there's a bug going around here. We're like, this is probably nothing. Okay. And then January comes around, and we couldn't even get in touch with them. They couldn't even answer an email. And we were like, oh, their whole state is in lockdown. There's no medals going to be made. So we had to get plaques made at very, very last minute. So we got the plaques printed up. So we got loads of kids, and they got a little plaque instead of a medal. And when we got abuse online, it was like people, oh, stupid plaques, where are all the medals? And we're like, COVID, the factories are literally closed. We can't get any medals. And so that was the first one. When we came back directly afterwards, I think they were back open then at that stage, even on the restricted things. So they were back open for business. And when we ordered in the medals, they arrived, and we lost, I think, 3 boxes of them. So we ended up short. So this was in Gormanstown. The first one we had back was in Gormanstown. And we came back and there were 3 boxes short. So we had to reorder medals. It was like, but we had to find these. Eventually, I think they arrived like 6 weeks later. They were in some warehouse somewhere, and we had to post them out to people. And we were like, well, that's another medal disaster afterward. The year after that, and only some very, very eagle-eyed Instagram followers of ours saved our bacon. We took some medals out of the box, took a photo of them, put them up online, and put them back in the box, ready to go out back onto the event day, right? So they went back into storage. And I get like a WhatsApp message from the girl who runs the Instagram page, and it's like, what's going on with the medal? And I said, well, nothing. I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, just check it out. Someone's put a weird comment below it. And I looked down, and somebody's put down, oh, it's the Emerald Cup, is it? EMBERALD. And I was like, what's he talking about? And I scroll back up to the photo, and the medals say Emerald Cup, BERA. I was like, oh my God. So I went, checked all the medals. They were all the same. They'd all be cast wrong, molded wrong. I don't know who missed it, whether it was the factory's fault or our fault. So that was the 3rd year in a row we had a disaster. We had to get them made and specially shipped over. I don't know how they got here. I presume somebody got on a private plane and flew them here, because I think they arrived like 4 days later, and we just about got them in at the event that time. So we always call them the Emerald Cup, the medal disaster tournaments, because we've had 3 of them. We didn't have one this year. It was perfect this year. Everything went fine. But so for the first time ever, I'll knock on wood there. But that was 2020 was the first one of those. And it was just before COVID, right before COVID. We did that one this year. Yeah.
Oh man, now that you've said that, it has jogged my memory. I competed in the first one as a white belt, and I do remember seeing the little plaques, and I was like, I've never seen a competition do this before. Now I know why.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we know. Well, we could have got medals done, so you can get ones that you can print it and they can put it on, but they look like every other medal. So we said, well, look, we could do it that way. The plaques were more expensive. Like it was a pricier thing to do, but we said we just want to give somebody something unique. So we went with plaques in the end. But yeah, it was a mess. It was a disaster. But like, again, it's stuff that's totally out of your control. And well, I've learned so much about event management in the last 10 years that, the stuff I didn't want to learn. But it's, stuff like that's the hard part of it, the stuff, the behind the scenes stuff. We were talking off camera a little bit about it. That's the kind of stuff that, people don't see. The stress and emails and phone calls to China and stuff like that, you don't get that very often. But when it happens, it's fairly stressful, I can tell you.